Welcome to the Explainer. So, I want you to picture this for a second. You're driving home from work, following all the rules, just cruising along, when suddenly, flashing lights in the rearview mirror. You get pulled over for something super minor, maybe a broken taillight. You hand over your ID, completely confident, only for the officer to come back and tell you that you're driving on a suspended license. You literally had no idea. Sounds like a total nightmare, right? Well, because of how Vermont's specific regulations work, it's actually a highly relatable, high-stakes scenario that catches people off guard all the time. But today, we're going to make sure that never happens to you. Okay, let's get real for a minute. Are you absolutely sure your Vermont driver's license is valid right now? Like 100% positive? It's a really serious question. We can't overstate how crucial it is to know your status. Just think about it. Say you move to a new apartment in Vermont, you forward your mail, but maybe just one official notice from the DMV slips through the cracks. Because Vermont relies heavily on mailed notices for suspensions, missing that single piece of mail could mean you are currently driving illegally, and you wouldn't even know it. So, whether you're getting ready for a renewal or you just want peace of mind after a move, staying informed is absolutely your best defense. Get this, the Vermont DMV regulations state, and this is a direct quote, "In Vermont, there is no statute of limitations on driver suspensions." Let that sink in for a second. Unlike a lot of other states where a suspension might eventually just expire or drop off your record after a few years, Vermont suspensions never expire. They remain active indefinitely until you actively resolve them and get a physical notice of reinstatement in your hands. If you don't check your status proactively, a minor oversight from, say, 5 years ago could literally still be suspending your driving privileges today. Crazy, right?
So here's our quick roadmap for today's Explainer. We'll look at why your status matters, walk through a step-by-step guide to the online portal, share some crucial tips, dive into real-world scenarios, tackle a few FAQs, and then wrap it all up with a quick recap. Let's logically demystify Vermont's system.
Section 1. Why your status matters. The strict realities of Vermont driving laws. To understand why checking online is absolutely critical, we've got to look at how easily a suspension happens under Vermont's specific point system. The magic number to remember here is 10. In Vermont, if you rack up 10 points on your license within a rolling 2-year window, boom, it triggers a suspension. And remember what we just talked about? That suspension is indefinite. It doesn't just fade away over time. So this isn't just about avoiding a ticket. It's about the real-world consequence of needing to proactively monitor your status. If you share a car, drive for a living, or just rely on your vehicle to get through daily life, knowing exactly where you stand against that 10-point limit is a must.
Section 2, the step-by-step guide, demystifying mydmv.vermont.gov.
Now, the online portal presents what is probably the biggest hurdle for folks. Vermont uses what's called a bifurcated, or basically a split system. On one hand, you have the logged-in MyDMV account. That one requires a password, and it's strictly for managing vehicle registrations and commercial fleets. But here is the secret. You actually cannot use that logged-in account to check your personal driver's license status. Nope. Instead, personal license checks and suspension status are handled through discrete online modules, sitting right there on the homepage completely without logging in. Knowing this little difference is going to save you so much frustration. You don't need to create an account for something that doesn't even require one.
So because you aren't logging into a master account, the system has to verify who you are on a transaction-by-transaction basis. To do this quickly and securely, you're going to need 3 very specific pieces of info ready to go before you even open the website. First, your full name, exactly as it's printed on your ID, that's for identity verification. Second, your date of birth. And third, your actual driver's license, permit, or non-driver ID number, which lets the system do a specific credential lookup. A good best practice? Just keep your physical license handy when you sit down at your computer, and for sure make sure you're on a secure, private Wi-Fi network when typing in this stuff.
All right, you've got your info ready, so checking is actually incredibly easy. Step 1, head directly to the official portal at mydmv.vermont.gov. Step 2, and this is key, do not click sign in. Just scroll right down and click on the modules labeled either driver services or suspensions and driver records, depending on what exactly you need to check. Step 3, punch in those 3 specific identifiers we just talked about. The portal uses this quick validation process to securely handle your inquiry and instantly gives you your current operational status or lets you know if you owe any reinstatement fees. It really is super convenient once you know exactly where to look. Section 3. Crucial tips and insights. Keeping your driving privileges secure. Okay, here is a hidden technicality that catches so many drivers totally off guard. Vermont requires biometric license photos, and those photos strictly expire every 9 years. If your photo is hitting that 9-year mark, the online portal will literally block your renewal. You'll be forced to make an in-person visit to a customer service office just to have a new compliant photo taken. This is exactly why you don't wait until the day before your license expires to check your status. Unless, of course, you enjoy suddenly not being able to drive while you wait around for a DMV appointment.
Section 4. Real-world driver scenarios. The reason behind the strict data rules. Now, you might be wondering, why in the world is the system split up like this? Why can't I just have one master login for my cars and my license? Well, the answer is the DPPA, the Driver's Privacy Protection Act. This is a federal mandate that requires the strict segregation of identity data from vehicle data, all to protect your privacy. Imagine a scenario where a hacker gets your master password. If everything was in one place, they'd have your home address, your biometric data, your vehicles, the whole shebang. By forcing the Vermont DMV to keep license management separate and requiring specific inputs every single time, the state effectively blocks automated identity theft and data scraping. So yeah, it's a minor inconvenience, but it's a massive upgrade for your personal security.
Section 5. Frequently asked questions. Online status checks versus full driving records. We definitely need to clear up a super common misconception about the difference between doing a quick status check and actually pulling a full driving record. The most frequent question we get is, can I just download my full driving record online as an individual? People naturally assume that since they can check their status online, their entire record should just be a click away, right?
Well, the short answer is no. Individual drivers strictly cannot pull their full records online. You have to use mail or go in person to request it. On the flip side, commercial entities, think insurance companies or maybe a future employer, they can pull records online using certified third-party databases like MVR Online, but they can only do that with your explicitly signed consent. Again, this all goes back to those strict DPPI privacy laws we just talked about. The state is prioritizing your data security way over the convenience of a quick download.
Actually, if you do need your full 3-year or complete driving record instead of just a quick status check, you need to prepare for a very traditional paper-heavy process. You're going to have to mail in a form with your full name, current address, phone, email, date of birth, driver's license number, your social security number, and include a fee that ranges anywhere from $17 to $24, depending on how far back you want the record to go. Honestly, it makes taking advantage of those free, quick online modules for your day-to-day status look like a much, much smarter route, doesn't it?
Section 6. Recap and official disclaimer. Final thoughts on staying compliant.
The biggest takeaway for you today is that in Vermont, the burden of compliance is entirely on your shoulders. Because suspensions literally never expire, proactive checking is essential. By understanding how to use those discrete online modules, you can quickly verify your status and update your mailing address so you never miss an important notice. Now, please note this professional disclaimer. The information provided in this explainer is accurate based on current Vermont DMV regulations and source materials as of today. But, laws, fees, and digital systems change all the time. Always verify specific details on official state sources or consult directly with the Vermont Department of Motor Vehicles to ensure you're fully compliant. And I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Think back to that nightmare scenario from the beginning. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you actually verified the mailing address the DMV has on file for you? If you're scratching your head and can't remember, well, your next step is pretty clear. Head over to mydmv.vermont.gov, use those discrete modules, and make absolutely sure you are in the clear. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay safe and stay informed out there on the road.